Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I'm going to be running you through some tips that you need to know for solo travel, especially if you're female and a first time traveler like me. So please enjoy. Well, in this video I'm going to be explaining how best you can go about in planning a solo trip as a female. I can't say I'm an expert because I did have some problems here and there, so I'm going to be sharing some of my problems that I had on my trip as well. So let's get into it. The first thing that I did when planning for my trip was buying the plane ticket. So I feel if you buy the plane ticket you can't go back, because then your trip has been decided. Many people reminded me like, no, you can cancel the trip and whatnot. You can cancel your flight or change it, but just keep it in your mind that you can't change it. It's non-refundable, so if you don't go on the trip you lose out on the money. That way it helps you to be focused on the trip and not change your mind at any time. So first things first, book your plane ticket. I really was left with nothing to use for September, which is why I was broke most of September. But anyway, I needed this trip because the events that transpired before the trip. So I'm sure I'm going to have to post a story time on what motivated me to do a solo travel, but just a brief explanation. I just decided not to rely on anyone for my trip. I was determined to just have a solo trip and just have a trip planned by me that I know is going to happen, and if anything is changing it's going to be based on me and what I want. But I wasn't letting anything change it, which is why I have faced a whole lot of problems when it comes to my trip. So firstly, you book the plane ticket so you can keep your mind on the trip. You regardless of what you do, you remember that you've got a trip that you can't cancel for. So yes, get your plane ticket. If you're getting a plane ticket and you're connecting, if I went to Cape Town, I am in Cape Town right now, so when coming to Cape Town you do need to connect through Joburg and then come to Cape Town. You can either start by planning a trip that's if you'd like to make it cheaper, you can get on a flight with ProFlight and maybe try to plan one that's early in the morning so that you do not have any problems with your connecting flight, and then you can book one. I'm going to put a link of I think I'm going to put a picture of the website you can use for cheap travel within South Africa. So you can do that. I wouldn't recommend putting them close to each other, just so you have enough time to get your luggage and check into the next flight without being late, so you can make it in time for the boarding time. So I would encourage that. So for my first time I didn't know much about it, so I just inquired and someone referred me to eSky, which is very good because their trips are well planned, and in case of anything, if you want to have a trip whereby if anything goes wrong and it's not on you but on the airline, I would recommend you do it with eSky, because if I was using South African Airlines, amazing services. Their food is great, and I made sure I ate all the food because I paid for that food, so I made sure I ate the food. Their services are amazing. So I booked with eSky, and in case I missed my connecting flight because of the previous flight being delayed, they would find a way of getting me there on their ticket. But the problem with booking two separate flights with two different payments and they're not organized by the same agency is that if the first flight delays and causes you to miss the second flight, you have to pay for it. It's on you, and I didn't want that. I didn't want to be accountable in case I missed the flight, which is why I'm saying if you're going to book two different flights that are not with the same agent or anything like that, make sure the time difference between the two flights is huge so that you do not miss your second flight. Because I was this close to missing my second flight, but I knew that in case of anything I would be refunded. So get your plane ticket either from eSky, from ProFlight, and if you're going to Joburg, it's easier and it's cheaper, and they have those flash fares at ProFlight where you can just travel for 2.5. So it's better, so you can then book your return. When it comes to booking the return ticket, I wouldn't really advise it. It's the smart thing to do, but I wouldn't advise it, because maybe booking a return ticket when you're closer to your trip is what I would advise, because plans change and you get to discover new things, especially if you're going to a place you've never been before. You get to discover new activities, so you might want to extend your stay, you might want to stay at different venues. Like initially when I was coming to Cape Town, my plan was staying in Cape Town throughout, but then as time went by, I was like, why only see Cape Town when I can even make it cheaper and also cut my trip in half by visiting Joburg as well. So I'd say to do that. So I would encourage you to I would encourage you to not book the return, but just I think you can keep the money, and just book it later on, so you, in case you need to make any changes to your trip, you want to visit more places, you want to do more stuff, or you want to come back earlier, it's not inconveniencing. So I would encourage you to do that. I would rate TripAdvisor a 10 out of 10. Like this, they're amazing. They show you all the things you can do, all the places you can visit. So when you go to TripAdvisor, it has an option of where you're going to travel, and when you put in the place you're traveling to, it gives you an option of things to do, the hotels and whatnot. And this is the weird part about booking with TripAdvisor. It's cheaper than booking in person. I don't get what type of mechanism. I'm sure it's a marketing strategy and it really works, but when you book through TripAdvisor, it's way cheaper than booking directly with whatever you want to do. Take for example, my stay here at the hotel is way cheaper booking through TripAdvisor than booking at the hotel. Although there is one problem I noticed, even if the TripAdvisor says the breakfast is included, if you book through, maybe other hotels it does go through, but with this hotel, if you book through the TripAdvisor, the breakfast is not included. Even though it might say breakfast is included, it's not. And also it provides you with the things to do. So if you're coming to Cape Town, I would definitely recommend the Hop on Hop Up tour, because you can go to any location. There are about I don't know how many buses are there, but you can drop off at any location and stay as long as you want, because there's always a bus with the tour you're on. Like there's always a bus passing through every 20 minutes, so you don't have to worry about the crew leaving you, because you can just join another, you can just get on another bus. I really love that. It was the highlight of my trip so far. I don't know what else the trip has to offer. So yeah, TripAdvisor is your friend. Book everything through TripAdvisor. I would recommend getting the bookings app, because it actually makes things cheaper. Like you actually do have way more discounts when you have the app. Yes, so after you book your stuff on TripAdvisor, make sure you search the safe locations in the place you're trying to go to. Like for example, especially when it comes to South Africa, I'm from Zambia, so we don't have crime as bad as it is here. So I was really skeptical about coming through to South Africa, but when I went on the internet and I searched which places are safe, which places are not safe, it kind of gave me an idea about the safety measures. Make sure you know the line to call, the emergency police line. You can call emergency ambulance line. It's really important, just in case you get in trouble. So make sure you familiarize yourself with those things with regards to the places you're visiting. If you're visiting local, so it'd be easier, because you already know what the measures are. I think before you actually even book the trip, make sure the place you want to go to will allow you to be free and enjoy yourself and have a good time. Yes, so make sure you check on the rules and regulations, and not just the legal ones that are in form of documentation, but also with regards to customs that the locals have. They don't really documented, but it's something that the locals believe in or have rules about. So make sure you search on that as well. Search on form of transportation. Does the country have Uber? What type of different countries have different types of Uber. Some don't really have Uber, but like taxi services, so you can search on what the country has. I would recommend downloading it even way before, so you can have an idea of what it works like, what it looks like, and all that. Familiarize yourself with the place. Getting a SIM card of the country you're going to, I don't really know if that's important. Some people say it's important. Yeah, I did have a situation at the mall today where I had to book an Uber, but I didn't have bundles. I didn't have Wi-Fi, so I had to ask people to hotspot me. So that's the problem. So I feel like if you're going to be using a whole lot of Uber or a whole lot of internet, I would encourage you to get the SIM card of the country you're going to. Like so you can always be online. But for me, I don't really need that because I already have my days planned. I only communicate with people when I'm at the hotel. Every place or location I've been to, I've been picked up at the hotel, gone to see the place and dropped directly at the hotel. The only time I had to do it for myself was today when I had to go to the mall. For now, this is all I'm going to tell you. If I do need to add anything else, I will add it in the next videos. I will add it and I'll make more videos if I do need. So for now, that's it. If I do need to add on extra things, I will make a video and add them on. So make sure you hit the subscribe button.